He said he's going to try and drop in.
Okay.
As soon as he can, he's going to rush in. So he might pop in like midway through.
Okay.
All right, here come the link. And I'm going to tweet it out now. Yep. Mm-hmm. Lawrence, whenever you're ready, bro.
Are we good?
Yep.
All right. I appreciate everybody for tuning in today. My name is Lawrence Jones with Fox News. Last Friday, there was a Black Conservative Summit. Conservatives from across the country talked about the Ahmaud Arbery shooting and how it impacted us and the messaging that we took from it. And so there is a split between the conservative movement. And so the best way when family have an issue is to sit down and debate it, see where we can grow from it. And there's plenty of people in the audience that have different perspectives as well. So Brandon, Antonia, Bryson hopefully will be joining us later. Uncle Hotep Jesus, thank y'all so much for being on. We're gonna jump right into it. I asked everybody not to speak over each other because I want the audience to be able to hear each other. Today and yesterday, I took the liberty of going through everyone's posts and interviews and what they had to say about it, and we're gonna discuss that. Hopefully we can get to some dialogue. So I'm gonna hop right into it. Brandon, you said in an interview yesterday, the guy wasn't innocent like we thought he was. It was like a Jussie Smollett. What did you mean when you said that?
Yeah, I mean, right off the beginning, you know, he was a jogger, just minding his own business, and that was the narrative. And I originally said, and that video has 500,000 views, that there's more information I'm sure of. We don't need to pick a side. Let's let some stuff come out before we jump and say that this guy has been killed by racist white supremacists without any additional information. And now when the information comes out, it is very clear that he wasn't just jogging through the community minding his business. He's now caught up in potentially burglarizing a house. He's been seen on camera in multiple houses, or at least multiple times in that one house. So that's pretty much all I said. He wasn't just walking down the street. There is more to it. There's some law that's applied to it that has gotten him in a situation where these individuals could possibly get off of this given Georgia law. Not saying it's right or wrong. None of these people paying my bills, so I don't owe anybody anything. I'm just giving my perspective from a former law enforcement officer, arresting people for murder, arresting people for deadly force, self-defense, and I'm just giving my say. So I don't think he's just strolling through the community like we thought, or like they were presenting, and the white man just saw him running through the street, decided that they're gonna go kill a black man today, and that's what they did. That wasn't the scenario. At least that's not what it is today.
So a quick follow-up before the panel hops in right quick. You said some Georgia law. What law are you talking about when you say that it may have been a burglary? Because legal scholars from the Attorney General, the Attorney General for Georgia, the Republican DA that's going to be taking over this case, most legal scholars would say that wouldn't have been a burglary because no products were stolen. At best, it would be a criminal trespass.
Okay, so I'm very disheartened that people who are consider themselves a legal scholar would say that something has to be taken in order for it to be a burglary in the first degree. According to Georgia law, burglary in the first degree only involves intent. So if a person goes into a dwelling, which this was, and it's been verified as a dwelling, case law has determined that even though nobody's living there, it is a dwelling. Georgia law says a dwelling can be occupied, unoccupied, or vacant. He entered into a dwelling with the intent to take something, intent to commit a theft. That is first degree burglary. So that's where I'm getting it from, and it comes from Georgia law. I can pull it up and read the law verbatim.
But Brandon, you know, as a law enforcement, that can be interpreted any way. That you have to prove intent, especially in Georgia law, where when you're trying to do a citizen's arrest.
Well,
it has to be a felony. Go ahead.
Well, you don't have, court is where you prove whether a person is guilty or not. An arrest is where you have a probable cause or reasonable cause to make
not for a citizen's arrest.
No, okay. Let's read. I will read the citizen's.
I will too. Go ahead. Go for it.
I'm going to read the citizen's arrest real quick because I want us to be all on the same page. A citizen's arrest, and give me a chance to pull it up.
I got it right here.
I want you to read the. I want you to read the
17. It's 17-460. A private person may arrest an offender if the offense is committed in his presence, or within his immediate knowledge. If the offense is a felony and the offender is escaping or attempting to escape, a private person may arrest him upon reasonable and probable grounds of suspicion.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not. You don't have to, according to the law, you don't have to prove. You have to be it has to be reasonable or probable suspicion, and therefore you can then conduct a citizen's arrest. If you do a citizen's arrest and you are wrong, they can sue you for false imprisonment. If you are correct in a citizen's arrest, a law enforcement officer will take possession of that individual, finish the investigation, and if it's determined to be in fact a burglary, they'll be charged with a burglary and they'll have a day in court to be proven innocent or guilty. If they do more investigation and they
the problem is, Brandon,
there's no
the problem is though, Brandon, is no one saw him in that building. Not even the owner was able to see him in the building because there's video of it. They were not around the scene when that took place.
Well,
so it's hard to prove that took place because they didn't see it. They weren't in immediate view to determine that, Brandon.
Well, let me explain it this way. That's not true. The video surveillance footage is a live feed. Larry, the gentleman Larry English, said he was notified by phone of the video feed. You can disagree with that, but also the citizen's arrest, you have to either see them or it have to be immediate knowledge. Now there was a 911 phone call where they saw the gentleman in the house. They made the call, and while they were on the 911 phone call, he started running. They reported it. Also, you have Travis McMichael and Greg McMichael, who they had information about the gentleman being in the house. That's one of the reasons why them and another person whose name is William Bryan decided to follow Mr. Arbery. Greg McMichael, he also knows Mr. Arbery because he was on a case that prosecuted against Mr. Arbery. So not only do he know him visibly from what he's seen in all the other videos, when he saw him running, he can identify that is the individual whom he has dealt with in the past. That's the individual from the surveillance videos, plural. And I mean, you don't have to.
What did you see in those videos, Brandon?
What you say?
What did you witness in those videos, Brandon?
What did I witness in the videos?
When you saw the video of him going into this house, what did you see him do?
Well, it's only a 7-second clip of the video.
So you ain't see nothing. So you saw nothing.
Time out. You can't say I don't have all the information because he's in there for
bingo.
He was in there for 3 minutes.
Bingo.
I'm going off of,
so let's go off of Mr. English. Let's go off of Mr. English. You've been talking a lot. Let's go off of Mr. English. Mr. English said, I wanted to correct the mistaken impression that he had shared this video with any other information with the McMichaels prior to the McMichaels' decision to chase Mr. Arbery. The homeowners had not even seen the February 23rd video before Travis and McMichael shot Mr. Arbery. These are the words of his attorneys.
Mr. Larry English said before that he had. We
ain't talking about before. We talking about most recent news, Brandon.
Bro. Let me talk. If you're going to ask me a question, I have a chance to respond. Now, Mr. Larry English.
I didn't ask you a question.
Mr. Larry English had reported before that there have been thefts. That's why he put surveillance videos in his house. My belief system, and it's clear to me, but people may disagree, that the reason why he's coming out now, 2 months later, after all the stuff hit the fan, after his videos have been circulating and saying, oh, I never reported anything, is because he's probably been intimidated. because he made statements.
Is
He
that
put-
That's
speculation?
subjective.
Is that
That's straight
speculation?
up speculation.
Is that speculation?
Well, did he put surveillance videos in his house?
Is that
Yeah, but there hasn't
speculation?
been a there
Speaking
hasn't
of
been a robbery since
speculation,
January.
Brandon,
Okay.
how do you know there was intent for him to go into that house in the first place and steal something? How do you know that part?
I don't. I wasn't there. I don't know it.
But you were saying, but what you were saying before was that these scholars, these so-called legal scholars, are essentially confusing this term with burglary because there has to be intent involved beforehand, but there was no intent. And you don't know.
They were saying he didn't steal anything. That's why it wasn't first degree burglary. That's not law. The only thing you have to do is have intent. Now, I'm not the person that has to prove his intent. I wasn't there. The people there were claiming that he had burglarized the place and that they were pursuing him because of a burglary. That's what was reported.
Your
Now,
conjecture is like a prosecutor, Brandon. Let's be honest. How do
Bro,
you feel?
I don't know.
How
I
do
don't
you
know what
feel?
you're talking about.
How do you
I'm going off
feel?
the report.
How do you feel? How do you feel about the actions of the McMichaels? Were they right, justified, wrong, correct? How do you feel about their actions, Brandon?
Well, I'm gonna give you the legal thing, and then I'll give you
No,
my
no,
opinion.
I don't want to hear no.
No.
legal. I wanna know what
I'll give
got
you
to
the
say.
legal stance, and then I'll give you my opinion. Okay. I want people to understand these two different things. Legal, on the legal stance, they were, if they had believed that they observed the burglary in the first degree, they were legally able to do a citizen's arrest. Therefore, they could legally be in the position they were in. Now, open carry laws in the state of Georgia, you are legally able to carry a gun in your vehicle when you travel and on your person, wherever you're at. Your constitutional rights don't go away just because you're conducting a citizen's arrest. They had a legal right to carry a gun and open carry at the time of the incident. Now, when they are fighting for a gun, McMichael,
You ain't answering my
as
question.
a defense, when they're fighting for a shotgun, Mr. McMichael has a defense that his life is in danger because the guy's taking his gun. He can defend himself with
that is
deadly
not
force.
defense.
You didn't answer the
That's not
question,
true.
Brandon. You did not answer the question. I'm gonna rephrase the question again. Do
No,
you
we gonna
feel
pull-
as
we gonna
though
pull it up.
do you feel as though the McMichaels handled the situation correctly, Brandon?
I mean, I really don't. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay,
As a second-
hold
as a
on.
Second Amendment guy.
Hold on. You don't know, but you do know and have made
Hey,
up
hold
your
on.
mind.
Hotel, you need
that-
to drop your voice, man. You getting all pumped up, man. We're supposed to be on here talking with respect.
Okay, no
don't
problem.
need to be
I'll bring
yelling
it
at
down
each
for you.
other,
I'll
man.
bring it down. I'll bring it down for you.
Let's be
You
respectful.
don't know if they were in the wrong, but you know that the black man was in the wrong because he was in the house.
I didn't
You
say
ma- you were quick to make up your mind.
I'm
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let's rephrase this thing here, right?
okay.
You damn sure ain't defending Ahmaud Arbery, but you are acting like a defense attorney for the McMichaels, which
That's
lets me
false.
know that you are taking sides.
That's false.
Because you cannot definitively say that what they did was wrong when everybody here knows it was wrong. But you can't say
Wait a
that
minute.
because you're
I
afraid to
never
lose your
said
base.
anybody was wrong or right. I said in
I
the
asked
court
you,
of
you
law-
said you don't know. I said, yo, did they handle the situation correctly? You said, I don't know. Now, if we ask, do you think Arbery was in the wrong? You're quick to
I didn't say
castigate
that.
him as a burglar.
In the wrong in what way? At the shooting or at the burglary?
Do you think Ahmaud Arbery was a burglar? Do you think he stole something from that property? We asked you earlier.
I think what I witnessed from the video, I think that a reasonable person can believe that he went in there with intent to take something. That's my
Except for
opinion.
the
How?
owner. Except for the owner.
It's fine. The owner,
How?
that's not the way law works. The law doesn't work because the owner thinks a certain way. The police officers will determine whether or
Absolutely.
not
And you know what the police officer said? Because this was breaking news as well. The police officers wanted to arrest the McMichaels. It was the DA's office that refused to bring the charges in.
Why?
Why? Because the DA's office said there wasn't sufficient evidence, but we already know that there is a connection to the DA's office, which means why the Bureau of Investigation had to come in for Georgia within 48 hours, they were able to connect the dots. So
Well,
you tell me why, hold on
not-
for a second, Brandon, hold on just a second. You tell me why the nation's chief law enforcement office, the Civil Rights Division, DOJ, a Republican attorney general, the Republican governor, and a Republican DA, local DA in Cook, were able to draw the same conclusion, but the only people, and the local police officers as well, the only people that weren't able to get to that conclusion were the people that had a association with the McMichaels in the DA's investigator's office.
So
why is that?
Well, I'm not here to justify who doing what, because I'm not in the investigation. I believe that
what I'm asking you is, why did they come with, why did 6 different investigative agencies come up with a different conclusion than the one that was connected to the McMichaels?
I don't know, because I'm not investigating. Why are everybody saying that he was just jogging? No. What I'm saying is that, think about it like this. Why is everybody saying he was jogging when everybody knows that that wasn't the case?
I'm not talking about the jogging. I'm not talking about the jogging.
What I'm saying is that just because people disagree, just because a lot of people on this side doesn't make them right or wrong. In the court of law is where a man is presumed innocent until proven guilty. So Correct. They can charge him all they want, but the people who originally had the case wrote a whole synopsis as to why they did not make probable cause arrest at the beginning. Now, you can say that they were wrong, they were right. They're in court. They will have their day in court. They're presumed innocent.
But Brandon, do you know who doesn't have their day in court and will never have their day in court because of the McMichaels?
Well, you say, he
never had his day in court.
It's a mutual thing here.
Never have his day in court.
It's a mutual thing here.
Let's back up.
They're alive and he's not.
Well, it's because of decisions that were made. They had a gun and he didn't. He fought the man for the gun and he lost. I mean, I ain't trying to say who right or wrong, but that's what I'm saying. That's what happened. If you break into a house or you in a house that you're not supposed to be in and you take off running, I mean, if you are just, all of you guys have said, and I've seen some of y'all videos that, oh, I just go to houses and look around on, see the platform or whatever the case may be. And y'all, you don't have any intent to steal anything. When somebody see you, do you run? No, you don't. If somebody was to confront you, you say, look, I was just looking around, man, it's not a big deal. When you begin to sprint out of a house because somebody noticed you.
That's speculation, Brandon.
He ran out the house.
A few weeks ago,
he ran out of the house.
A few weeks ago. Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
A few weeks ago, there was a white woman who was at a park and she was arrested because of the quarantine laws, right?
It's not the quarantine law. It's the legitimate park laws that they have on the record. It has nothing to do with, it's not a new law.
Right. All right. So she was arrested. Brandon's exact words were, "This was uncomfortable to watch. I'm conflicted." Now, Brandon is conflicted when the little old white woman is having a problem with the cops. But when a black man gets murdered in the street, it's not uncomfortable to watch. It's not conflicted. You know why? Because it's grifting season, and Brandon is a great grifter.
Let me call you on this because you're trying to call that. When the young man got murdered by the police officer, I made the video condemning that law.
Ain't talking about that.
No. I don't want to hear that, bro. You got to be even.
When the white woman was in front of the cops, you said you was uncomfortable to watch. You never said Ahmaud Arbery's video was uncomfortable to watch. You never said you was conflicted. You never said you was conflicted either.
You're lying. In the video that has 1.6 million views, I said the horrible video that we all have seen. I said it in the video. So I believe that the video
weren't conflicted though. You wasn't conflicted. You made up your mind. You chose to defend the McMichaels. So which brings me back to history, right? When we think about law enforcement in the South, where Brandon is from, we know he's a good old Southern boy. When we look at the history of law enforcement, what does that come from? That comes from slave catchers. That's where the history of law enforcement in the South comes from, is slave catchers to snatch a nigga, right? And that's what we saw with the McMichaels, riding around in their truck. The dad is in the back of the pickup truck like this, the Dukes of Hazzard, looking to hunt down. Even the McMichaels' own case said, we saw him and we went to go grab our ammo. Now, we all know, according to the majority of civil arrests, basically what happens is it's not supposed to be violent. You're not supposed to kill somebody, right? Well,
same measure of force.
Right, same measure of force, right. But let's back up a little bit. So what happened was, what they do, they started this law called the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. So when I think about Brandon, I'm like, oh, it makes sense why he took this stance, because he's a cop. Are you still a cop? Because you call yourself the Officer Tatum. I just want to know, for my own personal safety, are you the ops? Are you the cop?
First of all, ops, I think that's a very disrespectful term to use against a police officer. I'm not a police officer. I'm a former police officer. I honorably served my community, Black people in particular. I put my life on the line. I was willing to die every day. I've saved Black people with my own hands.
Why do you still call yourself officer if you're not an officer?
Because when I was an officer, I made my social media as an officer. So I never changed it because it goes all the way across my social media. So do I need to take it down? Should I say retired?
No, I just want to compile the evidence to show why you're so.
Man, when I first came out, let me say this real quick, and I want other people to talk because I'm not.
Okay, yeah.
First of all, man, when it first happened, I didn't say nothing. I said everybody needs to not pick a side right now. Make sure you do your research because stuff can come out and it can all change. I'm not saying they're right. I'm not. That video has 500,000 views. Everybody and their mama can see that I said that. I said, don't pick a side. You can believe both at their face value. They said he was jogging. He's jogging. They said he was doing this. He's doing that. That's exactly what I said. Most of everybody in this video except Bryson. Now I don't know what you believe down at the bottom, but Bryson and I know for a fact, never said that the man was gunned down like an animal. He was just jogging. This is white supremacy. They lynched him. They profiled him. We never said any of that stuff. Now that more information came out.
Hold on just a second, because I want to get Bryson in. But
go ahead.
Before I get Bryson in, Brandon, would it be safe to say that you have chosen a side right now?
No.
So what was your defense for Ahmaud Arbery then? Because you put out a defense for the McMichaels.
Okay, let me just.
And most of your answers were based on speculation. Because there, as you constantly said when I pressed you on it, I don't have all the facts on this. So my question is,
am I talking to real people or y'all just? I just spent the last I don't know how many minutes telling you what the law says. I don't care about neither one of these people at the end of the day. I'm just telling you what stand your ground law said, self-defense, citizen's arrest, and
Brandon, and I'm telling you as a criminal justice major, graduate, and a private investigator that worked in juvenile court, that helped with defenses, that would not hold up in court. So I'm gonna get Bryson Gray.
I arrested people. Hold on. Before Bryson get on here, I didn't just go to school for this. I did this for a living. I arrested people for self-defense charge. I live in a state that's open carry and we have stand your ground laws. I worked here. So I did this for a living. I have arrested people in a similar situation to this, and I've also let them walk away free after killing somebody because they were justified according to the law. I've been to criminal.
I want to get Bryson in, but as I correctly noted to you, Brandon, the two law enforcement on the scene said that they wanted to arrest them, but the DA did not allow them to. So did the other 6 investigative agencies that came to the same conclusion within 48 hours. Bryson, go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I missed a few things that was said. Obviously, I came in a little bit late because I'm time up, which is cool. I'm with it. But I just like to focus on the facts of the case. And I hate to be a douchebag, but I've seen a lot of people, and a few of them are not here right now because they backed out of the debate. They said things that were just blatantly wrong, and then they doubled down and never took it back, never apologized. Like he was a jogger. Nope. So that was wrong. So I don't know if anybody has admitted that was incorrect yet, or that he's done nothing wrong. Nope, incorrect. I don't know if anybody has admitted to that yet. My thing is, in the beginning, me and Brandon, matter of fact, I asked questions on both sides. I said, why did they do this? Why did this person do this? Why did this happen? And you know what I got in return? Quote unquote cancel. Even though I can't cancel me, but I got canceled. All these quote unquote black conservatives with the outrage mob saying, "Oh, black people are getting this open season on black people. You can't even jog in your street." And then when they found out
Bryson, what black conservative? Because I saw a tweet that you said I'm off for the rest of the day. I'm so disappointed in the conservative movement today.
Yes,
I can see why we can't make progress. It's because we fold under pressure instead of standing firm. We get emotional, bow down to the mind. A lot of y'all are soft. So again, The Department of Justice, Republican. The President of the United States, Republican.
The president didn't pick a side.
What did the president say? What did he say?
Who runs the executive branch?
What did he say? No, you brought him up. What did he say? Say what the president said real quick. Give me a quote.
Who runs the executive branch?
A moderator. Give me a quote. Are you a moderator
The
of a
president
hotel?
said what happened was very troubling. I'm not a hotel.
It's troubling.
No,
He didn't say anybody was wrong.
I didn't know. I couldn't tell.
Well, let me help you explain it to you. Is the Republican Attorney General a hotel? Because he's white.
What did Trump say? You brought up Trump. What did he say?
I brought up 6 people.
Oh yeah, but since you brought up Trump, the last one you brought up, I want to stop you. What did he say?
You may want to.
What did he say regarding the case?
Look, let me explain something. Let me explain something.
What did he say regarding the case?
Let me explain something to you, Bryson. This ain't Twitter.
Okay.
This is not Twitter.
And this
is not Twitter. So what I'm asking you is that why did all these lists of Republicans come to this conclusion and you focusing on Donald Trump? He's not a law enforcement officer.
You brought him up.
Why are all these? I did, and the president supports his DOJ. So you tell me. You tell me. There's a civil rights investigation, an investigation by the Bureau of Investigation for Georgia, the DA
but what did he say,
in Georgia, the governor's office. He said he found it troubling, but he wants to see the investigation, as the president should say.
That's what we're saying.
Thank you so much for that.
Hey, I got a question for Brandon, if you got a second.
I would love to hear from you, Uncle Hotel. All that trash you was talking on your last video that I saw, but I'd love to hear from you, man.
Thanks.
You don't cuss me out and call me a Uncle Tom nigga this time, but okay.
I try not to use that language, but you said you're a ex-police officer.
Yes, sir.
So as an ex-police officer, what would you let one of the McMichaels to do? Is that their name, McMichaels? What would you rather have done? Would you rather them to call 911?
They did.
Or would you rather them get in their truck, get some weapons, and go chase somebody? What would you rather, as you were ex-police officer, as you said, what would you rather have them done?
Well, I'd rather for them to follow the law. So if they are following the law, then do that. I have an expectation for people to have their constitutional rights to carry a gun. So if you're going to conduct what you believe is a citizen's arrest, then why is your Second Amendment somehow abolished because you en route to conduct a citizen's arrest?
All right, can I talk as the Second Amendment person?
Go for it, Antonio.
Second Amendment, hold on. We're both Second Amendment people. What do you mean you the Second Amendment person?
Okay, I'm a little bit more into this. I'm the director of outreach for Gun Owners America.
I was a cop for a living. I was on the SWAT team. I know about
guns. When it comes to law, particularly self-defense law, and I teach many people all the time when it comes to self-defense.
So do I.
As a firearms instructor,
I'm a firearms instructor.
Okay, I'm just trying to put my credibility here. Okay, I'm not trying to push against you or anything. I'm just saying that I've heard a lot, and you've said a lot of things that are not correct. First of all, I do not want you to bring up the fact that we have a constitutional right. We do have actually, we don't have a constitutional right. I'm sorry. We have a human right. The Constitution is there. The Second Amendment is there to protect that right, that God-given right. Everyone has that, including the McMichaels. The problem in this situation was that you do not have the right to then go and impede and restrict somebody else's right to life, which is what they did.
No, they didn't.
When they brought their firearms out, they knew that they were in a situation with great power comes great responsibility. They were in a situation where, first of all, they didn't have to be in that situation. When it comes to self-defense, the first thing we as firearms instructors tell people is that if you have a way to get out of that situation,
always
then you should do it. If you're in a school shooting, a mass shooting, if you're even if you and your child are inside a grocery store or a convenience store and you have a way to get out and get your child out, you get out, even if you have a firearm on you. The last thing that you do in self-defense is use a firearm, because you know you are accountable for every single round that comes out of that firearm. And you know that life is way more precious than any type of property. So even having that as a scenario in that moment, they shouldn't have been trying to go to the quote unquote danger. They shouldn't have even thought that if they're going to have a firearm and brandish that firearm, that the other person wasn't going to react, especially since that person was unarmed. Then Arbery in the self-defense case, if he were still alive, would be able to say that it was self-defense, that he was able to take the firearm away from them, or try to in that instance, because he was fighting for his life. So the only person who has self-defense grounds in this is Arbery, and Arbery will never have his day in court. So that is the problem here. And I want you to please don't put the Second Amendment in this. Yes, they have a right to that, but they don't have a right to cancel someone else's life in order to do so.
Let me explain real quick, because I think it's invaluable to understand, right? You do have a right, according to the law, to open carry. Yeah. That is a constitutional right. You can.
I'm not saying they don't.
No. Let me finish. If you get in a vehicle to go anywhere, whether it's citizen's arrest, whether it's going to the grocery store, your amendment rights does not end there. You have a right to carry it. Now, absolutely. If you are going to conduct a legitimate, just say that they believe it's legitimate. In the courts, they will determine what it is. They believe it's a legitimate citizen's arrest. If you are going to be in a citizen's arrest, do you leave your gun at home, or do you bring your gun for self-defense in case he has a gun? Now, I don't understand how us Second Amendment folks can see that that's not an issue. If you are carrying a gun, listen, hold on, let me finish.
He can have it for self-defense, but when he goes out of his truck and then goes and pursues that person.
He didn't pursue. How you pursuing somebody who's standing still?
He didn't come out of his truck. Did Arbery go into their truck?
He came on the driver's side of the truck.
The father was in the back of the pickup truck with his gun aimed at Arbery.
No, he didn't. Because when the shooting went off, Greg couldn't even get his gun together. So he couldn't even shoot. He fumbling with the gun. He didn't have his gun loaded already.
What are you talking about? He was sitting in the back of the pickup truck.
When the shooting started going off.
If you're going to go after somebody, how you ain't got time to get in the cabin of the truck? He in the back, running around like Dukes of Hazzard to chase niggas. But let's be honest.
First of all,
let's call it spade a spade.
Show the video of him pointing it at him.
Let's call it spade a spade, right?
Didn't point the gun at him.
What we have is a case of grifting season, right? Like Brandon's career is on the line. Like outside of
hold on, bro. You're gonna make me disrespect you on this live.
Outside of you can't cut me off.
You're gonna make me disrespect you on your own live stream.
You can't cut me off.
My career's on the line because of what?
Brandon, just respond to him after he finishes his stop.
Well, bro, you can't come on here disrespecting somebody. You think I'm gonna just let, bro? I'm not disrespecting.
Go ahead and respond back to him. Everybody got their own personal opinions how they feel about
grifting.
So everybody can.
So you can get aggressive, like you threatened women's life last Friday.
What woman I threatened?
I believe
which woman I threatened?
We can.
Now niggas say it. Which woman I threatened?
We can pull up those clips. So you said
which woman I threatened? Now you brought it up.
So let's.
What woman did I threat, bro?
Let's unpack.
Let's stay on topic with Arbery. Let's stay on.
What woman did I threat?
Here's the thing.
Let's stay on topic with Arbery.
Here's the thing we got to understand.
Wait, I think to be
this
fair,
gentleman that we have on the line is up here because now I'm speaking for a lot of people here. So I don't want you to take offense when I call you grifting, because this is a joke. We've always said that it's grifting season. There's a lot of grifters in here and there's a lot of grifters here, right? Now, here's the thing. We know that your career is very much based on approval of white conservatives.
How?
So let's talk about this. Did you or did you not work for Teep USA?
Yes, I did.
Okay, was that for Black Outreach?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you worked for Teep USA on Black Outreach, but yet you went to your Twitter and you said, I am not pro-Black. So if you don't care about Black people,
no.
why would you? So then what is the purpose of working with TPUSA to bring Black votes if you're not pro-Black, if you don't care about Black people?
Let me explain this. I didn't say I didn't care about Black people. You gotta be out of your mind and think I don't care about Black people. I said I'm not singularly pro-Black. I said I'm pro everybody.
You said I'm not pro-Black.
No, bro. I love white people just as much as I love Black people. Now, as the director of urban engagement for Turning Point USA, we led the biggest Black conservative movement that you were invited to.
Yep.
We learned, and brother, I invited you to Phoenix.
And I saw inside your organization.
I flew you to Phoenix.
You want to talk about the meeting in Phoenix? Let's talk about the meeting in Phoenix. Let's talk about the meeting in Phoenix.
I flew you to Phoenix.
This is basically a strategy meeting to get black people to vote for the Republican Party. Right?
No, it wasn't. It
That's
was
not
for
what it's about?
it was for us to come together.
Right.
It was for us to come together and unite as individuals with a common goal and a common.
Right.
We were all the same.
And we wanted to bring black people to the White House to meet President Trump, do the photo op thing, and all of that. But you were the Black Outreach for TPUSA, which is a political organization, right?
No, it's not.
So hold on. Let me jump in.
What is it? It's not a political organization.
It's an educational organization.
It's a C3. It's a C3.
Okay.
So hold on. Let me hop in real quick because I think this is going off topic. But I do want to dive in to Black Outreach and what is concerned because I do think there's some discussion that can be on that. So Brandon, today on Jesse Lee Peterson today, you had a quote that I wanted to press you on. You said that I'm ashamed and embarrassed about how most Black people operate. That was a direct quote from you today on Jesse Lee Peterson. How does that help our message of outreach?
Well, first of all, I'm not here to kiss nobody rear end. I'm here to
not
tell
anybody rear end. But how does that help outreach?
I'm here to tell the truth, and a lot of people agree with me. So if you don't agree with me, you don't have to listen to me. It's not my job. Now you saying how does it help with Black Outreach? It helps because your mission. Because people understand that I'm sitting here telling the truth. I'm being honest about what's going on. So I do think that Black people.
Hold on. Quick follow up. So the same people that you're trying to reach in our community, you said that the majority of them, you think you're embarrassed and ashamed about how they operate, but you want them to come see what liberty is
Fox
about.
News.
Explain to how does that work?
Mr. Fox News, you sounding like CNN a little bit right now. You got to put it in the context.
Hold on, Brandon.
I'm being honest.
Let me tell you something. Because I've been doing this for too long. You won't challenge my credibility on what I do in the community.
I'm not. Your statement.
Hold on. Or my credentials as a reporter.
Your statement.
Hold on. This is a direct quote from you of how you feel about Black people.
Out of context.
And you said you're trying to read. It's not out of context. It's direct.
It is. We were talking about this case. We were talking about Ahmaud Arbery.
So why would you say all Black people?
I didn't say all.
They operate.
I didn't say all. You know I didn't say all because you read it that I said most. How they have operated. How they've operated with Ahmaud Arbery's case. That's what Jesse Lee Peterson was talking about. I am shamed because 99% of Black people was out here saying that boy was just jogging and them racist white people just gunned him down. At least be honest and say we have a conflict. No.
You know what the problem is with that it's not just Black people that are advocating for justice for Arbery. There are a lot of white people within the. Actually, this is the first case that I've seen where there has been almost 90% of conservatives that agree from the president all the way down that something is shaky about this.
We are not, me and Jesse Lee Peterson wasn't talking about everybody else. We were speaking about Ahmaud Arbery and the outrage in the Black community.
Carefully then.
Dude, if you watch the thing, he
I
asked
watched the entire interview.
He asked me the question. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. People can go watch it themselves and get their understanding. I'm speaking about how people were reacting to Ahmaud Arbery's case. Majority of the Black people that I've seen.
We ain't talking about people. We talking about the people that's in this debate right now. The people in this debate right now have already.
I don't know what Uncle Hope said.
I'm telling you right now what we said. We done went through the whole war with Black Lives Matter and Sean King and how they use Black bodies to push their political agenda. We know that. You can try and deflect all you want with other people's arguments, but let's stay here with the arguments that are happening here. You, Brandon,
real quick,
your career is based upon the dollars from white conservatives.
What white conservatives paying my bills?
If the white conservative wasn't there, you wouldn't exist, right? If it wasn't for Turning Point, you wouldn't exist. If it wasn't
you a lie.
You'd be irrelevant. You would be irrelevant.
Please don't tell Jesus is an actual grifter, though.
Please don't cut me off while I'm talking. Please don't cut me off while I'm talking.
One person at a time. One person at a time.
Please don't cut me off while I'm talking.
Brandon, you know next.
So here we have a very sensitive case with Ahmaud Arbery, and we know how Black people as a whole feel already about Trump. Now, instead of you said nobody knows nothing about the details. So there was an option for you to stay completely mute on this, But you got all these videos and a whole lot of comments and a whole lot to say about this case. But every time you talk, you don't never defend the dead black man. You're defending the McMichaels who actually murdered this man. Why? Number one, because you're a cop. Number two, because your brand depends on it. You are the epitome of the grifter. You know, and I don't knock it. Like everybody got to get a hustle out here. Not everybody is as talented as others. So sometimes, you know, you got to grift off of other people to make some of the stuff happen for your life and to pay your bills. But here's the thing.
All right, Brandon.
You don't like black people. You're not pro-black. So my thing is, if you're not pro-black and you're not going to do anything for the black community, stop doing black outreach, because your black outreach is terrible. If you want to get people to vote for Trump, you're doing a horrible job. They should have hired the hoteps, because no black people, black people don't like you. Black people don't like you. Black people have completely ostracized you from the community because of you and Candace Owens' rhetoric. So I'm wondering, if you're in charge of black outreach, you're failing. How do you think you're doing a good job?
Okay.
What I think is you should
let him respond. All right, Brandon.
Let me respond. First of all, Turning Point USA is not the source of my success. I was very popular as a police officer, and I don't need politics, bro. I was a police officer and I had a good job. I left the police department and worked for Liftable Media. That has nothing to do with Turning Point USA. Turning Point USA wasn't paying me a lot of money, so I don't know what white people you think is somehow funded me. The first black leadership summit to ever go to the White House, I think it was the biggest conservative movement that have gone to the White House 2 years in a row. I applaud the white men and black men who supported that. It don't have to be a race thing. Let me tell you one thing, bro. I hate black people. My mama black, all of my family members black. My son is half black. I don't have nothing against black people. I love black people. I love all people the same. When I was a police officer, so let me set you straight, brother, because you online talking. You're telling people what you're doing, what you want to do. I'm in the community. Brother, I put my life on the line for black people. How many black people have you resuscitated? How many black people have you did anything for outside of just talking? I was there. I've seen murder. I've arrested people for rape and crimes against black people. Now, I don't want to hear you running your mouth about the little social media stuff, brother. I did this. Even now, I do things with Turning Point USA when it's applicable. I do things with Candace Owens at the Blexit events. There's a ton of black people that enjoy Blexit. There's a ton of black people that we do outreach for. Blexit South Carolina and other Blexit groups do outreach in the community. I go to events and I speak where I am asked to be.
So Brandon, let me ask you a question, because you're talking about your heart for the community, but do you feel like some of your rhetoric may be problematic to the cause?
No.
I gave you a quote. I gave you a quote earlier. Let me give you another one from that same interview, and hopefully you'll see where I'm coming from. So Jesse Lee Peterson is interviewing you. He says verbatim, "It's not like decent black people, blacks, are being killed. You nod your head in agreement, and you said, well, a lot of us have been brainwashed."
Yeah.
Do you see how problematic that may be for Black America?
No, because all black people don't think the same. So there are black people that hear what I say and they say, okay, I get it. The black man that called in, did you remember him calling in? A young black man agreed with everything I said. And so there are black people who agree, and there's black people who don't agree. There's black people who agree with you, brother. When you on Fox, they won't call you a sellout because you on Fox. But then there's black people that listen to you and they say, I like this guy. Some people like Hotep. Some people like Bryson, the way he presents himself. We don't have to be a monolith, man.
I'm not saying that, Brent.
Let me just say my part. Some of you guys have your own approach. You know, Okafor, you do gun stuff. There are black women that are inspired by you that may not want to hear from me. But I have a tremendous amount of people in my inbox every day saying, man, thank you for what you do, man. I used to be a Democrat. At events saying, I used to be a Democrat, man. You and Candace Owens are the reason why I'm not a Democrat no more. So there are people who
there's a lot of black people that kiss your ass trying to get that ticket to TPUSA.
And there's people who see it from y'all's perspective.
There's a lot of black people that kiss your ass looking for a ticket to a TPUSA.
I got a question for Hotep Jesus.
I'm not.
What question you got, man?
I got a question. Can I ask you a question?
What question you got?
Okay,
Go ahead, Bryson.
Thank you. My question is simple. We can talk about grifting and stuff and talk about the black community. No disrespect. Every single person has a Hotep with the following. They only have followers because they were Trump supporters. Your following is white and half of them are fake. I don't understand where this grifting comes from. The only people that buy fake followers is if they trying to look cool. You're a grifter. You sell stuff in every video. When you got somebody grifting, all hotels do is try to cater to the black community, because to me, now this part is not a fact. It seems like y'all trying to press the black community because it doesn't seem like y'all were accepted by the culture when y'all was younger. And I can tell that because a lot of y'all got that beta energy. So when y'all get older, y'all find to reinvent yourselves. Y'all trying to cater to the black community because y'all was never accepted. That's what this really is. Y'all about grifting. Y'all the main grifters. All y'all. Everyone that following was a Trump supporter.
Hey, Bryson, let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question, Bryson? If Trump,
ask me anything.
What's your next mixtape gonna be about? Because
that's gonna be about you.
Because
it might be about the shooting.
You talk about talent. You talk about talented. You're not as talented as me with your left. I'm more talented than you with my left hand. That's a fact, boy. Don't ever disrespect me. And I'm really black. I'm the black.
Okay,
I'm the black guy intended to be.
No,
This is not
productive.
This is not helping.
Never disrespect me. Exactly.
First of all,
y'all didn't say that when he talked.
Let me say this. The personal attacks is not helping black people either, right? Wherever it's coming from, wherever everybody going at, everybody. Brandon, why you got your hands up?
Because
I'm talking to everybody.
I didn't say none of y'all were grifting.
I violated.
Everybody that made a personal attack is wrong, and that does not contribute to the well-being of black people. At the end of the day, we're all grown men and women. If you have a question about someone's tactic, talk about that specific tactic and say what they said and allow them to respond. The mixtapes and grifters and people sell outs and all that type of stuff, we don't do that stuff. Yeah. I'm trying not to cuss because I got to go to work tomorrow.
Let me go ahead and say Lawrence is right. I violated. I shouldn't have did that.
Hey, I had a question.
But you called me.
I appreciate that.
Listen,
so the reason why I call Brandon the grifter is because
you want to be Starbucks
with my Starbucks video.
Okay, see,
now you want to be Maj. You want to be Maj, and you scared of that debate. So that's a whole nother story.
I'm on right now.
Where am I supposed to be here?
You want to be Maj. You want to be Maj. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to let you and Maj talk about that.
Hey,
because he added you. He added you. You have yet to respond. But I already said.
This is about Ahmaud Arbery.
Right. The grifting
dude I ever know.
Listen to what I'm saying. Let me talk.
We talked on the phone yesterday.
Let me talk. We
were talking on the phone
yesterday. Let me talk. Now, I'm able to call you a grifter because I'm one of the best grifters. I did the Starbucks video and grifted off the left and the right at the same goddamn time. So when I see a grifter, I know a grifter. I know how to grift. It's real easy. I did it for a whole year as an experiment. That's how I got in TPUSA. Because before I was in TPUSA, I was dissing all of y'all. But that's a whole nother story. I got inside. I see what y'all was about. But the truth is, black conservatism ain't about black people. If it was, y'all would be having different rhetoric. You wouldn't choose sides. So let's get back to the Arbery case. Here's my problem. Here's my problem with the Arbery case. We know that there may be some question marks about Arbery being a criminal, whatever. But can we say the same thing can we get you to say that the McMichaels was wrong? Can we get you to say that?
In the court of law? Or what? Like, what do you ask me to say? They haven't gone to court yet. So what are they wrong? What are they wrong about?
Was Arbery wrong?
About what?
About, I guess you said he was trespassing and was a burglar. That's what you accused him of.
Well, he not supposed. That's not his house, and he in there, so that's wrong.
Okay, so we're able to say that
he deserved to die, then, Brandon.
Nobody said he deserved to die.
Can we
say said he deserved to die? I'll give you $1,000 right now if you see a video where I say he deserved to.
Matter of fact, just ask you a question. Because you seem to be giving the McMichaels bail. But I have another thing for you and Bryson. Now, you guys said about, you saying, oh, you were embarrassed about black people, how they reacted to this case. And you were saying about, and Bryson said about all the jogging and stuff like that. We all know how the news can carry things away and exaggerate things. And maybe some people believe that. But just a simple trespassing doesn't deserve you to get shot with a shotgun. It just doesn't.
I'm done, man. I don't know if I can keep talking because man. Like, that's it ain't about trespassing.
But you understand, but that's how people see it.
But that's
wrong. I don't know if you understand that. But you're saying McMichaels, how did they know he burglarized something? He doesn't have anything on him. What did he steal?
Can they apologize for being wrong first?
Anything?
They apologize for being wrong, though. You already just admitted, basically, they was wrong about the jogger thing, and people still haven't admitted that. So can y'all take personal responsibility, fix your lips, and admit y'all was wrong? Why is that so hard?
I never believed that.
But
Why
the people
are you trying to put words in my mouth?
I'm not.
No,
Bryson,
about
you-
you.
Okay, I have a
Bryson,
question
what are
for
you
Brandon.
talking about?
I personally, I came on here for this question. Brandon, I've spoken to you before. I think you're a great guy, and this is why I'm concerned about what's going on now. I mean, I think you know that a lot of us, for example, in other cases that, of course, other Black people have definitely pushed back on when we talk about it. For example, when people were kneeling during the football games, I didn't think that was right, and I was very vocal about that. That I'm proud of my flag and proud of America. But there are certain cases that are so clear cut, like, for example, Philando Castile. Most people, well, even if they go back later and look at it, know that it was a very clear-cut case and it was wrong. And then looking here in this issue, I believe
don't agree. You
something
said you don't
again
agree?
that it's so clear-cut that
You said
it's
you don't
something that
agree?
we can bring out and
No.
say as in unison, you know what? This is when it's wrong. Because what we get all the time is people saying that we never talk about racism when it actually exists. We
This
talk
is not
about
racism.
like, racism is everywhere. And I personally will say, and I will say that over and over again, I will call out people who make everything about race, because that's not true. But it's also not true when it is very obvious when something is maybe, you know what? Not even on this case, if it's not even about race, right? If Arbery were a white man and I saw that video, I would be just as horrified, because that man did not deserve to die. Period.
Nobody said he did, though. I don't know. I'll give you $1,000 if you see anybody that said
Right.
that man deserved
But
to die.
you know what you usually do when you know that something is wrong? You stand up for the person who was the victim. And that's the problem that
Laquan McDonald.
we're not seeing.
Laquan
We're not
McDonald.
seeing you.
Did you make a video about Laquan McDonald? Did you make a video about Laquan McDonald?
We're not seeing you in this case.
No. Did you make a video about Laquan
Can
McDonald?
I finish what I'm saying? I'm saying
You're just making up stuff.
No, how am I making up stuff?
I made a video about Laquan McDonald's death at the hands of a police officer that shot him 12 times. Clearly, it was wrong. I made a whole video about how that was wrong.
Okay, can we go back?
How am I not defending?
Can I finish my statement on the Arbery, Brandon? I'm just saying, in this case, it seems that what it looks like is that you're going out of your way for people who are trying to be compassionate to really, I mean, we're always the ones who are going, oh, let's wait for the facts to come out, okay? And that is why a lot of people feel like we're heartless. But in situations where it's so clear-cut, 3 months after the fact it happened, that you continue to say, let's look at the facts, and the facts are coming out hour after hour in the media, and it's been actually justified by the Georgia Bureau of
It's not justified.
Why won't you talk
call.
about the facts in that sense just as much as you talk about the facts in the other sense? Look,
let's
I was
say
the person who, for Shelley Luther, I was the person who was, I was definitely upset that there was injustice in that case. She's a white woman in Dallas. I believe that we should have the same type of focus. If we're going to look at that case and not see her skin color, we should look at this case and also have compassion and show the injustice when the injustice is right there in your face, because this is what's going to hurt our outreach going forward.
No, what's going to hurt our outreach is
when it's so clear and obvious.
What's going to hurt our outreach? What's going to hurt our
Go ahead,
outreach
Brandon.
what's going to hurt our outreach is when there is not all the information out there. People like me and Bryson, I don't know what other people said, but what me and Bryson was saying was just wait till the information come out there. What's going to hurt us is when y'all make a video and all of y'all in there, y'all didn't invite me, y'all didn't invite Bryson to talk about this stuff, and people were bringing my name up. And I never say none of y'all name in videos. I don't bring you up. I'm not, y'all brought my name up in the video the other day when y'all were on the panel. That makes us look like we're apart. I disagree with some of y'all.
I'm not saying like trying to.
Let Brandon
one
finish.
who organized that, Brandon. I told them I don't want this to be about people.
But they called my name out. I didn't make a video about that.
You know what, Brandon? I'm very sorry about that. I am very sorry about that.
That's what brings Black people apart, because we're conservatives and we at each other's throat. I didn't say nothing about nobody. I just gave my opinion. I think that it makes us look bad when we say, no, don't wait for the facts to come out. And then,
No, listen.
People were saying he was jogging. People were saying he was jogging. All I said was that let's wait, because this sound crazy. I want to see more information, then I can say he was just jogging. But everybody jumped on the jogging, that they profile him. People were saying that they never called the police.
Jogging? Why you and Bryson keep coming back to the jogging and deflecting?
Because
nobody here said that. Nobody here said that. Nobody here
I
said
saw
that.
the live stream, bro.
Nobody here, the people in this box, nobody here said that. You keep deflecting to Laquan McDonald, to this, to that.
What's the next? What's the next? Hey, Hotel. What's next? What's the next question that you have, man? Because man, brother, you called me on the phone and we talked about this. You just told me that I'm afraid of Maj. I got the text message right here where we talking about.
Okay, hold on. Let's get out of the personal thing.
But why you on here saying that when we just talked on the phone about debating Maj?
You know what?
And my wife's sitting there listening to you.
Guess what?
Brandon,
y'all can talk about you and Hotep. Hold on, just a second. Hold on.
Dang, bro. I thought
you Hotep, Jesus, and Brandon, that personal stuff, y'all can talk about that offline. We off of it. Because y'all can talk about that man to man. That ain't none of our business.
Let Uncle
that ain't none of
talk.
our business.
Brandon,
last question, I got to bounce, man. I got a dinner, man. But bro, I'm disappointed in you, man. My wife would listen to you talk to me.
Brandon, one question. Now, if this goes to court and these two, the father and son,
yes,
they get found guilty.
Yes.
Now, let's say if you're found guilty,
okay,
will you accept that the law worked as it did, or will you be like with Amber Geiger? You said, "Oh, she got railroaded."
Oh, no. Let's talk about this, and then I'm done. I gotta go. First and foremost, if you watch my video, stop running your mouth here and watch my video. If you watch the video, they got 1.7 million views. At the end, I said the justice system would run its course. I said if they're found guilty, then they're guilty. If they get found innocent, I believe that the justice system will do its job. If they get found guilty and they can appeal if they want to, it's our court of law. I have never once gave anybody a pass and say anybody's guilty or innocent. I just gave law and telling you what the court is going to look at. Also, Amber Geiger, I actually thought she should have had more time than what she got. I made a video and said she should have got 25 years. They gave her like 10. I made a video saying I was shocked that she only got 10 years. I'm not kissing nobody but, man, I'm telling the facts based on my training and experience. And I'm not gonna say nothing personal, man, but you for a fact.
Brandon, you said, let me just say this one thing to Brandon. You just said that I wanted to be you. My response to that was, no, you want to be Maj.
Why?
Maj added you on Twitter, said you want to be him. You still have not responded. I'm assuming you must be afraid because you have not responded.
Well, we talked on the phone yesterday. We talked on the phone yesterday.
Talking about right now, Brandon.
We talked on the phone yesterday.
Right now, you just said I wanted to be you. We didn't say that on the phone yesterday.
All right.
So Brandon, what do you want out of this? I'm just asking one more question, please. Like, Brandon, what is your goal? From the videos and everything, what would you like to see going forward?
I just want people to know facts. Did you know and read all of the citizens arrest laws before you saw this? A lot of people didn't.
I did.
Did you know that they accused him? Did you know that the prosecutor who recused himself, he didn't have to, but he did because of the mother's wishes. He wrote in a report and spoke about all these things, and he gave the reason why they didn't get arrested at the time. A lot of people haven't read that, so they think that this is just a miscarriage of justice. He gave a synopsis of it. I just want people to have facts. People did not know that they called the police. A lot of people still think the McMichaels didn't call the police. They did. Multiple people called the police, neighbors and McMichael. A lot of people don't know stand your ground laws. A lot of people don't know that they can open carry legally.
But the problem is, Brandon, the problem is though, Brandon, I'm aware of those laws. I'm also aware of the Supreme Court laws that talks about reasonable force as well. They're standing for cases like this. They're standing. Patel versus the state. Like, so what I'm saying is, Brandon, hold on. And that's fair. That's fair. But what I'm saying is, don't come on here and try to seem like you only have the facts to this case, because I've done my research as well.
I never said
so. Hold on, Brandon. And so did the other 6 investigative agencies as well. They're not liberals.
I'm saying what I know.
They're not liberals. They're not taking the bait from. They're not believing the jogging incident. They're not doing that. And so when you take those, I'm talking about the investigators. I'm not talking about the media. They have the tape. They did the complete investigation. The facts that you openly said you don't have, Brandon. You don't have.
But an investigator that recused himself, that did not arrest him at the time, he also had the facts, and he gave a statement about why he didn't get arrested. He had the same facts that they have today. So
if the investigator that recused himself has the facts of this case, then he wasn't recused because he shouldn't be able to see that evidence. So that's corrupt by itself.
It was brought to him to investigate. It was brought to him to investigate.
If he, look, Brandon, we know how this
goes. He wrote a whole article about it.
If you're brought a case and there is a conflict, you don't get to look at the facts of the case and then determine to recuse yourself.
No, he already looked at the case, determined the facts. The mother came out and said, because there's a conflict, because his child worked at a firm that Gregory McMichael retired from. There is even no connection. But he said, because of the mom wanted to be fair and she felt that there was a conflict, I have recused myself. I have given direction moving forward why they were not prosecuted and why I think that they should not be arrested. That is sent to another agency. Listen, man, there's people that get accused. They win in court, they lose in court. Zimmerman was another case. Zimmerman was found not guilty. We can go through the list of people. O.J. Simpson, he was charged with murder. He is found not guilty. I mean, you're innocent until proven guilty. You may
100%. All of us agree. The problem is though, Brandon, we all believe that. All of us believe this.
Well, so what's the problem, man? We just have a difference of opinion. Why is my opinion based on my training experience somehow bad, but your opinion is fine? We both have opinions at the court of law that determine who's right or wrong.
Brendan, let me be very clear on here. I support your right to have your opinion, right? But I also am going to bring the counterpoints as well to the points that you're presenting. The problem I think a lot of people are having is that when these cases, you admitted it yourself, Brandon, right? Doing an interview today with Jesse Lee Peterson, both of you guys nodded in agreement where y'all said most of these black people are criminal.
No,
why are we always
they are. It doesn't matter if they're guilty or not. And all of these, name me one that didn't have a criminal record.
Hold on.
One that didn't have a criminal record. That's all we're talking about. Criminal records.
Brandon, and there goes the problem right there.
How is it true or not?
Hold on. Because just because you have a criminal record,
nobody said
does not. Then why mention it?
Because it is irrelevant. It is ironic. It is ironic. No, it's not. It's ironic that all of these cases that we see, people are involved in criminal activity. It's never, he said it's never a case where a person that just am doing nothing is just gunned down. All these people have an extensive criminal history. Why is that important?
Why is that important?
Do you not think that's strange?
So
no,
Shelley Luther,
just because you had a criminal past doesn't mean that you deserve to lose your life.
It's funny because
that is relevant in the case that's at play.
You know, here's the thing.
I gotta go.
They're quick to run and grab that talking point of Biden and Hillary Clinton. You know, created the
I'm gone,
crime bill. They created the crime bill.
You the fakest nigga I ever seen in my life.
They created the crime bill.
I see you in person.
They created the crime bill.
They created what you said. I'm done, bro. You a fake nigga. I hope everybody see that.
I appreciate
fake, bro. I'm gonna expose you to everybody. And when I see you, nigga, it's gonna be on. I want you to know that. Because you call me on the phone and you saying all this, and then you get on the live stream and you playing this shit. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Is that black on black crime? Is that black on black crime?
You's a bitch. I told you. Everybody on your live stream know you's a bitch. And when I see you, I'm whooping your ass. Everybody got it on live stream.
I like it.
You want to be hood, nigga? You want to be hood? Yeah. You on the phone talking shit to me and you call me and saying you apologize? Yeah, nigga.
I never apologized.
You apologize?
I never apologized.
You didn't apologize. My wife listened to you, nigga.
I never apologized. What I said was,
bitch, nigga.
What I said.
Let's wrap this up. All right, I appreciate everybody. Being on. I'm sorry to the viewers that had to experience that. We'll take this on Twitter for comments and everything. Y'all have a good night.
Hey, thanks everybody.
There's a bunch of super chats. I want to make sure.
I was going to say, aren't there people question and answers right now?
There's a lot of them here. Avarice, thank you. She said, Kings in the building. Hoteps rise up. Mark on curfew, $2 super chat. Phil, $9.99 super chat. Love all of you. Thank you. Tony Smith, $4.99. Where is ABL? Patriot J, thank you. He said Brandon wants more dead black men. Ugh. Avarice, Crystallonics, $5 super chat. Fire, brother, let's bring out the real. Dexter, for popcorn and soda. Thank you. Devin Purdue, expose this fraud king. I don't know what he's talking about. Chad, he said, if a landscaper puts a flyer in my mailbox, can I kill him? Has Officer Tatum found Botham Jean's dad yet? Were the cops right when they shot Breonna Taylor 8 times when they raided the house? Thank you, Chad. Tony Smith, I have to agree with Brandon. It is possible that his intention was to take something. If you look at the video, he looks directly at the camera and then turns away. Tika Leak, thank you. He says, could it be black folks are constantly finding themselves in this situation is due to lack of fathers in the home? No other race goes through this but ours. Chad Lemoyne, only McMichaels got to pick a side. Hotep with it. Eat these fools, Hotep. Chad Lemoyne, the officer can't answer without dodging. Tony Smith, it's a lot. Is a firearm needed to make a citizen's arrest an unarmed man? $10 super chat, hi. Disappointed in Hotep's performance in this. Jeters and cold bars, I apologize. Jason Smiley, Brandon loves black people like Dr. Umar likes white women. I came to support.
All right, y'all. I gotta bounce. I appreciate everybody.
All right, thank you,
All right, man.
Lawrence.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Lawrence. Bye.
I appreciate you, Lawrence. How
Thank
can
you.
an ex-cop defend another ex-cop who proceed with an unlawful citizen arrest attempt? You should know the law. Okay. Nobody knew who Tatum was until Master Kirk picked him up off the street and he put on the coon shoes. Trump needs to get the Hoteps involved, just exposed to grifting season. Hector Castellano, and they're still rolling in, says the boy who became famous off of a stupid hat. Donation from Hotep's fake following. Mute Tatum movement, $2. Amazing Lucas, no hate here. However, using what you did as part of your job as a defense is not an argument. Doctors saying they save black lives is not considered an example of their body of work helping black people. This right here is why we've only had one black president. Just kidding. Amazing Lucas still. I'm pretty sure Kingface said he deserved to die. I want my 1K Tatum if I'm not mistaken. Mary O'Donnell, $5. Sharice Lane, y'all always making a black man look like the criminal. Amazing Lucas. Tatum is breaking the law. How'd you get that fresh cut, homie? Street politics with Talesia. The left said he was jogging. Breaking conservatarian. Will Brandon and Bryson unequivocally condemn the actions of the McMichaels? Super Sean 95. Brandon, my issue that you quickly defend the police government in any situation without question. The government police try to curb the situation and you back the police without question. Jeters and curl bars. Hotep grifting to the anti-Tatum crowd, laughing my ass off. Brandon using his wife as an excuse to run away. Lauren literally. Sharice Lane. The McMichaels are thugs. I apologize. There's a lot of them. They're still coming in. Tatum got to go set Massa's dinner table. Amazing Lucas, you also made a video, Tatum, saying that the change was racially motivated by the black jury, Amber Geiger. Onishiro, OJ Simpson was found innocent. Hotep Mary. Blessings to all the Hoteps. Brandon, nobody watching your stupid video, LOL. Kristen, thank you. I just lost my place because people are still pouring in. Kristen, thank you. Jeffrey Joseph, the entire comment section, Amazing Lucas, SC, Uncle Hotep laughing in the background, and true MVP of this discussion. Justin Stone, this is.
Wait, that from Amazing Lucas?
That was from Jeffrey Joseph.
Oh, okay.
Justin Stone, this is ending how I imagined. Street politics with Talesia, black on black crime. Patriot J, can we get Bryson to drop a hot 16 after this? He dropped a new song today. It's pretty dope, actually. Lauren, literally, you're welcome. Emotional ex-cop threatens violence on a civilian. Hotep's been told you. Amazing Lucas, did an ex-officer just threaten someone on recorded live stream? Wow. Michelle Swain, $4.99 super chat. Chef J Reefs, this is sad. Y'all need to find another way to come together. Super Sean, $4.99, bunch of emojis laughing. Hotep Monty 1.99 said Hotep stand up. James Gibson, shout out to Antonio repping the Igbos, and that's it. Yeah, that's a lot. Bryson, I know you ain't got so much to say. I know you always have so much to say. I'd like to give you the opportunity to talk since you stayed around. So
I was very entertained, to be honest. But I mean, I don't have nothing to say. I just wish, like, if we go over the facts, I just want people to realize that it is what it is. Like, did he walk into a place that wasn't his? Facts. Did he run when he got caught? Facts. Did the guys try to do a citizen's arrest? Facts. Did he arrest somebody with a gun? Facts. Did he get shot because of it? Facts. If any of those not a facts, you can just tell me right now.
I don't think, those, like, we're arguing those points. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people are saying that, it could be handled better. Like, he didn't deserve to be shot. Now we can say, he lunged for the gun and like both, I think the McMichaels and Arbery should have handled that totally different so they could be here today. So Arbery could be here today, and, I admit, the media played a part in it. And, LeBron James coming out, they came out and they hyped up, the masses, the black masses, and we got I'm jogging with Arbery and things of that nature. I'm just concerned about the man's life that was needlessly taken. I just felt like the McNichols or whatever their name is, all they had to do was call the cops and the cops would have got him.
I respect a lot of what you said, because you just gave your honest opinion. And you say you think things should be done differently. That's a respectable opinion. I'm not saying that isn't an opinion, but can you do a citizen's arrest if it's lawful? If you have a suspicion of a crime or you see somebody in the act of a crime, can you do it? Why are you in my debate, Daddy?
Because he know what time it is.
That's why I'm about to go back home. I should have went home. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Angela said I live with my parents. Okay, Daddy, let's bring that back. I live here, right? Yeah. Okay. But yeah. So I mean, my thing is if you can say that, but can you do a citizen's arrest? If we're arguing opinions, we can go back and forth on that. If you don't think the citizen's arrest law should be a thing, then okay, that's an opinion. I'm okay with that.
No one's arguing against that, though. They didn't even do the citizen's arrest the right way. That's part of the issue.
What's grounds for citizen's arrest? Tell me.
It's not about the grounds. It's the fact that they're not allowed to use any type of force that's higher, that's more forceful than what the other person is using. I got a question. Use deadly force. That's not allowed in citizen's arrest. That's the whole point of arrest, citizen's arrest. That they get to the arresting part.
My question for you is, did they use force because they're trying to commit a citizen's arrest, or did they use force because somebody was wrestling them with a gun?
The gun was there before anything.
But it's open carry. It's open carry. That's not illegal for them to have a gun, is it? Is it?
It's not illegal for them to have a gun, but if they're actually in pursuit of a citizen's arrest, then that is where it's not allowed, because it specifically says that if you are making a citizen's arrest, you're not allowed to use your firearm in that situation in order to arrest him.
So are you saying by Georgia law, you're not allowed to have a gun while making a citizen's arrest? Does it say that?
I'm saying that if you intend to use it, which they did, that is where it was. That is where it was wrong.
If they intended to use it, why didn't they shoot him on the way to them? Why didn't they do it when he was running towards them? Why didn't they just shoot him?
What did they think that if they were actually going to be shot before? Once they got close to him and they knew that there was no firearm. I mean, even if we were gonna believe that they didn't believe that in the beginning, that they didn't actually think that he didn't have a firearm or did have a firearm. When they actually got close to him, which they did, then the firearm wasn't needed in that situation, right?
They got close to him, or did they stay there and he came towards them?
Who was the one who was driving the truck towards him?
They stopped his path. He continued running towards it, right? That same path, right? Am I right?
No, they blocked his path.
I literally said that.
Right.
But did he continue running to that though? He continued running.
Him.
Did he know?
The fact of the matter is, open carry has nothing to do with the citizen's arrest.
Yeah, I got a question.
If they were charged in that situation, listen. If they were charged in that situation and there was no open carry, then they would be charged also for open carrying. That is not the issue on this issue. That's not the issue in the situation.
I have a question.
I'm not arguing that.
When they blocked him,
arguing is that you're not allowed to use the case of self-defense in an act where you are pursuing the person.
I have a question.
When that person uses self-defense in order to get away, that is the issue, right?
What's your question? What's your question?
My question is, when they blocked him, did he continue running towards them or did he run away from them?
So you're saying because they blocked him and he didn't run away?
I'm asking a simple question. I'm asking a yes or no question because it's on video, so we know the answer. So can you just answer it?
No, I'm asking you to clarify. Are you saying that when they blocked him and because he didn't run away, that is the issue?
I'm saying when they blocked him, he continued running towards them. Is that correct or not?
Yeah, he can do that.
I didn't say he couldn't. I said, did he?
I'm saying he was blocked and then they pursued him.
Why is it so hard to say yes or no? This is my problem. Every time I talk to somebody about it, it's so hard for them to say yes or no to things that are yes or no questions easily. Okay, of course he did. So my question is, since he chose to run towards them, is that the reason? Because he didn't get shot on the way to him. He got shot after the wrestle with the gun. Is that correct?
He got shot after the wrestle with the gun, yes. Okay.
Why didn't they shoot him when he was running towards them?
Because they're trying to make a citizen's arrest.
So are you saying they didn't intend to shoot him? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying when you put yourself in that situation and then you shoot, and not even once, 2, 3 times, you are killing that person. It is called murder. There is no self-defense.
Wait, I'm gonna go based on what you just said, right? So you said that led to them wrestle for the gun, and then he got shot after they wrestled with the gun. And then you also said the reason they didn't shoot him before he got to them is because they were trying to do a citizen's arrest. Did you say that?
In self-defense law, if you have a reasonable,
did you just say that though?
If you have a reasonable doubt or reasonable case that someone is pursuing you with the intent of hurting you or any type of bodily harm, which if I see someone stopping my path, coming out of a truck with a firearm, I don't care that I'm pro-gun. And that person obviously has ill intent towards me, especially if they're trying to, try to get me arrested in the first place, the times before, then yes, I think that person has ill intent towards me. And so at that point, yes, I'm able to go and do the action in order to make sure I'm protecting me.
But did you just admit that the reason he didn't get shot before he got to them is because they were trying to do a citizen's arrest? Did you just admit that?
It's not about admitting. I said that they were not allowed to use deadly force in a citizen's arrest. That's what I'm saying. And they can't use self-defense in this case.
I'm confused. I'm sitting here. I'm just asking the question and you just dodging them so hard.
Let me hop in here. Let me hop in real quick.
Please.
Let me just hop in real quick.
Can I ask you the same questions? My bad, go ahead.
Read these. Daniel Hawk said, once they are fighting over the gun, why doesn't Travis have the right to defend himself? Phil says citizen's arrest can only be when a felony is seen. That's true. Hotep, are you pressing charges on Brandon for those threats? LOL, black on black crimes. Zakia Vasquez, Bryson, you can't do a citizen's arrest in GA unless you witness a felony being committed and you can't use deadly force. YouTube is better than cable. Cut the cord. Intelligent Man 302. Phil, they wielded guns without a sling, maybe brandishing. Tony Smith, for the sister, in what states can Second Amendment be reinstated? I don't know what that means. Hilawe says, this was a vigilante justice. If I was Ahmaud and I had concealed carry, Daddy McMichaels is probably getting holes as he walked towards me with a shotgun. Bryson, you can't claim self-defense when you pursue danger, from Zakia Vasquez. Super C95, listen to Colin Noir video. He broke it down masterfully.
Hey, Uncle Hotel.
Yeah.
Hold on, before you go, Antonio, Uncle Hotel. Now, you just heard me ask her these questions, right? Did you listen to them?
Yeah.
Did I ever say anything about self-defense? Did I even use that word once?
I don't think you did.
No. Another question. Did I say that you could use excessive force when it comes to citizen's arrest? Did I say that?
What I was arguing is that you can't. That's all I said.
But you was responding to my question with that. I wonder, did I ever say it though? Because my question is, you already just admitted, even if you want to admit it right now, you already admitted that the reason he didn't get shot before they got to him is because
Bryson, can I give you a challenge really fast? Can I give you a challenge really fast?
What's up, G?
Defend Ahmaud Arbery in 60 seconds.
Defend Ahmaud Arbery?
Yeah.
If that wasn't him on the video going into the house or him running afterwards, then he shouldn't have been shot at all. And I wish it was a different situation to where he didn't end up getting shot. But I mean, he wrestled a guy with a shotgun. I'm sorry, but wrong or right, I'm shooting you too. He wrestled me with a shotgun.
So what you're saying is that because he was in the property, he deserved to get shot? Because that's what you basically insinuated.
No, I'm saying since he wasn't in the property, he was doing something illegal. Since he was doing something illegal, that means somebody can lawfully do a citizen's arrest. If they did do a citizen's arrest, that means they could tell him to stop. Since they told him to stop, he decided to wrestle them with the gun. That's why he didn't get shot.
So you know he did something wrong? You know that Arbery did something wrong?
Is trespassing wrong?
Do you know that he was trespassing?
It's on camera, isn't it? Is that a lie?
No, it's not. Trespassing isn't on camera.
Him going to a house and then running after being caught isn't on camera?
Well, according to the people that own the house, they said that wasn't him. Some of those videos weren't him.
Yeah, I think there was some of the other videos. There was a different person. There was a person that didn't fit his description going in the house. So it's not totally sure that was particular day that was him.
Yeah, no. And the McMichaels the Michaels didn't have knowledge of that video prior to go chasing him down. You know what it looks like to me is because this former officer was involved in a prior case with Arbery, it looks like, you know, he was just kind of like probably stalking dude and I have a question. He had something personal against him. That's what it looks like to me because it looks like premeditated murder. That's what it looks like. Hey,
the guy in the same outfit on the video where he got shot, do we know for a fact that was the same guy in the video of him going to the house, then walking into the house, then running afterwards? Is that him? Yes, it is, right? We know this for a fact. This is a fact. So you brought up other videos. I never brought up another video, did I? I never brought up any other video. I brought up one video.
So it is assumed that he was the gentleman that was in that video. Now, yes. What is not assumed by Georgia law is that it's trespassing. I can read you want me to read what trespassing is in Georgia law?
Read the full law so I can correct you real quick, please. I'll look it up with you. Matter of fact, let's do it.
Let's do it. So trespassing basically says it's several parts to it.
If I'm just let you do it.
The first part says a person commits the offense of criminal trespass when he or she intentionally damages any property of another without consent of that person, and the damage thereto is $500 or less. So
keep reading.
That doesn't apply.
Keep reading.
So let's go to B. It says a person commits the offense of criminal trespass when he or she knowingly and maliciously interferes with the possession or the use of property of another person without consent of that person. That doesn't comply.
How not? Read that again, please.
Yeah, well, it doesn't because of the testimony of the people that own the house.
Can you read it one more time, though?
I'm going to go on to C. C is probably better for your case.
Okay.
A person commits the offense of criminal trespass when he or she knowingly and without authority enters upon the land and premises of another person or into any part of any vehicle, railroad car, aircraft, watercraft, another person for an unlawful purpose. Now we have to know that it says at the end there for an unlawful
purpose. Well,
hold on, it's still more. It's another
okay. All right, cool.
A person commits the offense of criminal trespass when he or she knowingly and without authority enters upon the land and premises of another person or into any vehicle, blah, 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 or watercraft of a person after receiving notice from the owner, occupant, or representative that such entry is forbidden. And the last one says a person commits the offense of criminal trespass when he or she remains on the land or premises of another person or within the vehicle, after of another person after receiving notice from the owner, occupant, or representative to depart. I think the only one you can try and make an argument for is part C. But, you know, I would argue that, you know, what is an unlawful purpose hasn't been defined and it's not clear in the video.
Oh, well, I got another question then. What's the laws of citizen's arrest in Georgia?
I don't think that it has to be a felony. You know, trespassing isn't a felony.
No, you don't have. It doesn't have to be a felony to do a citizen's arrest. We have to have suspicion of such. You have to have suspicion or direct knowledge of something happening. Is that correct according to the Georgia law?
According to Georgia law, it has to be a felony.
Yes. No. Read it again. Suspicion of it. Come on now. Read the full law. Let's look it up one more time.
Suspicion of a felony.
Yes. Right. Suspicion of a felony. Now let me ask you a question.
But that's not how it's worded. I'll tell you how it was worded.
Go read it. Let's go read it all the way
through. A private person may arrest an offender if the offense is committed in his presence or within his immediate knowledge. We haven't seen that.
We haven't seen what? Stop real quick. We haven't seen what?
We haven't seen proof of that.
Of what?
Of what I just said.
The immediate knowledge?
It says the offense is committed in his presence or within his immediate knowledge. That hasn't been proven yet. And it says if the offense is a felony and the offender is escaping or attempting to escape, a private person may arrest him upon reasonable and probable grounds of suspicion. It's not reasonable at all, in my opinion, and we haven't seen a felony take place at all.
So let me ask you a question. When they call the police, there's two separate phone calls, right? And you can listen to them, so we don't have to argue about what was happening on the phone. We can listen to them. Did they say they knew for a fact he was in that house?
Did who say what for a fact?
The people that called the cops on Ahmaud, it was two separate phone calls. Did they say they knew for a fact that Ahmaud was in the house?
The people on the phone call, the police call, yeah.
Yes, they did. And when Ahmaud started running, did they say he started running on the phone call?
Yes.
Now, is seeing somebody go into a house that isn't theirs, is that not probable cause or suspicion or immediate knowledge of something? Does that not?
Just because they said that doesn't mean they saw it. Somebody might have told them that was happening, but I don't think they saw that themselves.
You don't. So when they say, "Oh, he's running right now," was that just imagining? Was that a guess? Was that a prophecy? What was that?
I don't know, man.
Oh, that's.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. A lot of people are accused of a lot of things. We know a lot of black men have gone to jail for crimes they didn't commit. In fact, one of your talking points is how the Democrats use mass incarceration against black folks. You know, it's funny that you can use that talking point to your advantage to castigate black folks, right? So you'll say, oh, he had a past record, or he was burglarizing. That's something that, the Democrats of old would call him a super predator and say he deserves to die. That's Hillary Clinton talk that you kind of running under right now. So I think it's kind of odd.
For me, is it?
Yeah, I mean,
you read the law. I told you how the law matched the situation, and then you just try to change the subject to try to, I don't know what you're trying to do right now, but it's not working. Did they have immediate knowledge of a crime going on?
No, a felony.
You read it yourself. It said if a felony. It said suspicion.
So I gotta read it again?
Is that probable suspicion? You already read it. We heard you.
I gotta read it again.
Hey, yo, I'm out of here, man.
All right.
Hey, Bryce, thanks, man. I appreciate you coming on, man.
No problem, G. No
keep
problem,
up the good
man.
music, man. And thanks everybody in the chat.
I'm gonna go ahead and read the rest of these super chats. I know we stopped at Daniel Hawk. Once they are fighting over a gun, why doesn't Chavez right to defend himself? Hotel, are you present? Halawe, Bryson. You can't claim self-defense. Here we go. Chuck Finley, $10 super chat. He said, debate Nick Fuentes. He called you out on his show. Zakia Vasquez, Bryson, trespassing is not a felony. D Benders, he dropped 2 items before he approached the pickup truck. Watch the video again. Thank you, D Benders. Halawe, he said, exactly. McMichaels got third-hand info from neighbors or 911 before pursuing Ahmaud, not with his own eyes. Camera scene, the house came afterwards. Bryson, thank you for your time. I think you made some decent arguments, and I'm sure we'll see each other again.
Yes, sir. You already know, man.
Bless. Thank you, everybody, for showing up.